All right, 6.6 special quadrilaterals. So the first questions give us a table, and they say to copy the chart and put an X in the box if the shape always has the given property. So not like a sometimes, it's like always does. Rather than copy the entire chart out and fill that in, I'm just going to write whatever it is, and then we'll just write which shapes do have it. I think it'll be faster to do it that way. And I don't care if you want to copy the chart out and fill it in the way that it says in the book in your homework, you can do that, or you can do it the way I'm about to do it. Up to you. So number 8 says both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. So our options are this, I was going to say 7 different things, but I guess technically only 6 different shapes that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 7. Oh, there's 7 if you count isosceles trapezoid separate from trapezoid. The book in the table, they do not note isosceles trapezoid. They only do regular trapezoid. But if you want to put that in there too, you obviously can. All right, so I'll just do it this way. Both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. Is that true for a parallelogram? Yes. Is that true for a rectangle? Yep. Is that true for a rhombus? Yep. Is it true for a square? Is it true for a kite? Nope. Is it true for a trapezoid? Is it true for an isosceles trapezoid? Nope. So just those 4. And it's comical to me. The reason that I did this is because in the book, they draw the parallelogram, but they write out every other word. Cracks me up. But anyways. Number 10 says all sides are congruent. Is that true of a parallelogram? No. Is it true of a rectangle? No. Is it true of a rhombus? Yes. And notice, it could be true for a parallelogram. It could be true for a rectangle, but we don't know. Okay? This is always true. It is always true for a rhombus. What about a square?
Yes. Also true.
What about a kite?
No.
And a trapezoid?
No.
So just rhombus and square on this one. Do we understand how these work? Making sense. All right. Let's see, we've got one more. This one deals with angles. Exactly 1 pair of opposite angles are congruent. Is that true for a parallelogram?
No.
Nope. Rectangle? Exactly 1 pair. Notice. Nope. Rhombus?
No.
Nope. Square?
No.
Kite? And trapezoid? Nope. Identify the special quadrilateral, use the most specific name. Okay, so like for example, if the answer is, if it looks like a square, or if it's marked such that it's a square, you're not also saying that it's a rhombus and a rectangle, right? Like you're just saying the most specific name of what it would be. So 16. Looks like this. So what is the most specific name of this quadrilateral?
Trapezoid.
It's a trapezoid. Obviously looks a little different than some of the other trapezoids we've seen, but still meets the requirements to be a trapezoid. 18. And the other thing you're going to notice with some of these is they actually write in there not drawn to scale. So just be aware of that they may be tricking you a little bit. Maybe intentionally, maybe not. But just watch for that.
Do we have to copy these down or can we just write the...
No, you can just write the answers. That's fine. Unless it like specifically is asking you to mark something, but I don't think any of them are doing that. All right, so based on this information, what shape do I have? Kite. We've got consecutive sides are congruent to each other. All right, the next one say what kinds of quadrilaterals meet the condition shown, and again, these specifically specified not drawn to scale. So notice these ones want us to list all possible ones that it could be, kind of like the first thing that we did, but based on the shape and the markings that it had or has. So 20. So these are the markings that they've put on here for us. So based on that information, what kind of quadrilateral could this be?
Trapezoid.
Specifically,
Isosceles trapezoid.
yep, could be an isosceles trapezoid. Because if those are the base angles, they're congruent. That would mean the sides are congruent. What else could this be? What shapes could have consecutive angles that are congruent? Remember, this picture is not drawn to scale, so don't let that part confuse you.
Maybe a parallelogram.
No, not that one. Getting in the closer direction to being in the right shape, though. A square's one. What else? One other one.
Wait, and rectangle too.
Yep. So an isosceles trapezoid, a square, and a rectangle. $22. So this one's marked that we have a set of opposite sides that are parallel, and then the other set of opposite sides are congruent. So what possible shapes could this be?
Parallelogram and rounded, so it's probably something else.
Okay, those are two of the options.
Maybe a square.
Square,
rectangle.
rectangle. What else?
Isosceles trapezoid.
Yep. So remember, it's not saying that's the only information, but it's saying with what I have, these are possible options of what the shape could be. 24. What do you think about this one?
It could be.
I'd say probably not a kite.
I saw a right angle. I saw perpendicular angles. Rhombus.
I'm looking to see because the book only has one answer, but I think that that's a little bit questionable, so I'm checking something. Help if I can go to the right section. So I could say, I think the book is a little off on their possible answer options. I could say maybe a rectangle because a rectangle has congruent diagonals. Where is what I'm looking for? I could say maybe a rhombus because that would mean it has perpendicular diagonals, right? So maybe a rhombus. And then if it's both of those, what is it? It's also a square. So the book only put square, and I'm not really sure why they only put square. I mean, other than a rectangle doesn't have to have a right angle, and a rhombus doesn't have to be congruent. But if it's going to be a square, it has to be both of those things as well. So I feel like those all need to go together.
Also be a parallelogram.
Well, let's look.
It could be everything. Hey, look. Theoretically,
Technically, yes, we could also argue then that it needs to be a parallelogram as well.
theoretically, it could be a kite. Where to? The angles don't necessarily have to be 90 degrees.
I don't think that
You would know that. Get the angle.
I don't think that that's true for a kite.
I need to find out what color this is.
She said maybe.
Jonathan, you just keep going
Jonathan,
down
there's
What
a
about
road
both
there
those
for
colors?
it. This is the sunk cost fallacy, okay?
But a kite definitely doesn't have congruent angle or those. So yes, the right angle thing, but not because of the markings of it being congruent. So this one's a little weird because obviously the book didn't have all the options listed, which I don't know why. If it asked me to be the most specific, then I would say this one because that meets both requirements. Square is technically the only one that 100% meets both requirements of what's on here. But the other ones, if it's this, it also has to be these three things. Do we understand that? Okay. The next one say, which two segments or angles must be congruent for you to prove that ABCD is the given quadrilateral? Explain your reason. There could be more than one right answer. So 30 says isosceles trapezoid. So what would we have to know about either, with the given information, the sides or the angles to show that this is an isosceles trapezoid? Which two segments or angles must be congruent to enable you to prove that ABCD is the given quadrilateral?
A and D,
What about A and D?
the base angles.
Oh, that they have to be congruent. That's what I just asked you. Yes. Angle A and angle D have to be congruent, or what other one could be?
B and C.
Yep, angle B and angle C. And you don't have to have both. That's just kind of like the two options how it said they could be. I was like, what are you telling me about A and D? Yeah. A lot of times I would write like A is congruent to D or B is congruent to C, but the book writes it this way, so just be aware of that because it's specifically asking you which two things are congruent. But if you write congruent instead of and, that's totally fine also. 32 is a rhombus. And these are the markings they give me. So what would I need to show is congruent as regards to segments or angles to prove that this is a rhombus. That's not what I have down, so let me check and make sure if it meets the requirements or not. That doesn't necessarily have to be true. Hey, what?
That's what I just said.
Yes, that would work. BC and AD or AB and CD. Now, technically, this one, because we need to show that the parallel sides are congruent, but you could also do it with that. You just have to also show then that BC is parallel to AD as well, if you're going to do that one. $34. This one is a kite. And that's the markings that they've given us. So what must we show to be congruent, either segments or angles, to prove that this is a kite?
AD is congruent to AB.
That would be one option. What's another option? And what about angles? Any idea about that? Huh?
Angle B and D are congruent.
That wouldn't. I mean, yes, that would be part of proving that it's like that it's a kite, but there would have to be other pieces of information with that as well.
Wait. If only there was a midpoint E.
But there's no.
I said it all, that's why I said it all like. Jonathan, I need you to stop that.
What is it? No, that's not.
I was gonna try to do the perpendicular angle thing to you.
Well, we could kind of go with what Ethan said, but we would need to specify something else. We would need to show that angle B is congruent to angle D, and angle A is not congruent to angle C. We have to do that, which is a little bit different than what they're asking us to do, but that one would be an option. But yeah, that's an option there. All right, the last step in this section are the ones using the, or like determining what the shape is based on what you're given. So we may not do all of these because obviously we had done them on the quiz, but let's start with 36. They give us the 0.00, the 0.02, the 0.55, and the 0.20. So what's the first thing I should do? What?
The
Plot
first
the
thing
voice.
Huh?
he said
Plot
P.
the voice.
I think you said go on The Voice, and I was like, how's that gonna help me?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a tough show right there.
It's like, okay. It's like, I don't think that's gonna do me any good, but okay.
What? I can do point P.
No, that is what she said. What should I do first? You said P.
All right, point P is at 0, 0. Point Q is at 0, 2. Point R is at 5, 5. And then point S is at 2, 0. Then connect the dots.
Kite. Oh my gosh, it's a kite.
All right, so it looks like a kite, but I should probably confirm that somehow. So I know that PQ is equal to what?
2.
2. PS is equal to 2. So I've shown that these two are congruent here. So what else do I need to show then?
That Q and R is congruent with S and R.
So we're going to use the distance formula for QR. So that's 5 minus 0 squared plus 5 minus 2 squared. So that's 5 squared is 25 plus 3 squared is 9. So that's the square root of 34. And so then looking at RS.
-34. Oh my gosh. It's a kite.
So we've got 2 minus 5 squared plus 0 minus 5 squared. So again, 3 squared is 9. 5 squared is 25. So this is the square root of 34.
I'm funny, right, bro?
So this is a kite because the opposite sides
Are congruent.
are not congruent.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Forgot. Yeah, but chill. I'm still academic with it.
I'm emphasizing this because some of you missed some things because you just looked at a picture instead of actually measuring to see what things
I
were.
don't even know who did that for us, bro.
So, I'm emphasizing how to solve them because if it asks you to show that this is the shape and not just what shape is this on the test or the next quiz, you are going to be in trouble if you don't know how to find them. A lot of you lucked out because a lot of you had no work other than a graph on the quiz. So you were very lucky that your picture looked pretty close to right.
I had work, right?
I don't remember. Hopefully.
Academic with
All right, we're going to do 40. I'm going to skip 38 because, again, time, and we've technically done these before. These are just kind of reiterating the point. 40, we have the 0.17, the 0.59, the 0.83, and the 0.41. All right, so P is 17. So put that on there. Q is 5,9. R is 8,3. And S is 4,1. All right, so what is it?
But I don't know.
Oh, we don't know?
Not even Albert Einstein can solve this song, even know this song.
Just find it using
Man,
slope.
we must have found one that we don't know just by looking at it. That means we have no choice but to solve it.
Rectangle. I bet you it's a rectangle. So.
I'm not gonna.
I just opened a chart.
Guys,
I don't know, it kind of looks like a trapezoid. I mean, it could be. You never know. All right, so the first thing that I would probably do is measure the diagonals because diagonals can do a lot to help me. So I'm going to find the distance of PR and the distance of QS. So PR, I can just let us do this one and turn it in for a quiz grade if we're going to talk while I'm doing this. Cool. All right, so PR, we've got 8 minus 1 squared plus 3 minus 7 squared. So that's 7 squared is 49 plus negative 4 squared is 16. So that would be the square root of 65. So that's this diagonal going this way. I'm going to look for QS. So that's the square root of 4 minus 5 squared plus 1 minus 9 squared. So that's 1 squared is 1. Negative 8 squared is 64. So that means that it is the square root of 65. So my diagonals are congruent. Does that tell me what it is yet? Not necessarily. I have some ideas of what it could be if the diagonals are congruent, but I need to find something else. Any other ideas of what I might need to do or find? Maybe an easier option.
The distance of the sides.
I could do that. I can also do one other thing, huh?
The slope of the sides.
Yeah, I think finding slope is easier, but if you want to do the distance formula, you could. That would just be 4 more distance formulas, and I think slope's faster. So I'm going to find the slope of the sides. So the slope of PS is going to be 1 minus 7 over 4 minus 1. So that's negative 6 over positive 3, which is negative 2. And then, let's see, opposite sides in theory would be parallel, so I'm going to do QR next. So I'm having to look at my points on my paper instead of up there because obviously can't have it all on the screen at the same time. So this would be 3 minus 9 over 8 minus 5. So that's negative 6 over positive 3, which again is negative 2. So I can say, well, PS is parallel to QR because those sides are have the same slope. So then I need to do PQ and SR. So the slope of PQ would be 9 minus 7 over 5 minus 1. So that's 2 over 4, which is 1/2. And then the slope of SR, so that is 1 minus 3 over 4 minus 8. That's negative 2 over negative 4, which is positive 1/2. So both of those are parallel. So PQ is parallel to SR. So do I know now what it is? What is it?
Parallel.
I don't think we know yet. I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay, well let's I have perpendicular. Do the angles bias each other? Does it have perpendicular
It
angles?
still hurts after.
I'm not sure if this will help
The last
us.
time I played this.
You saying to look and see if the slope of the diagonals? Is that what you're saying? Sure. So the slope of PR would be 3 minus 7 over 8 minus 1. So that's negative 4 over 7. And then the slope of QS, we got 1 minus 9 over 4 minus 5. So that's negative 8 over negative 1. So those slopes are not perpendicular. So does that narrow it down for us?
Yes.
Then what is it?
It's a triangle. Triangle.
John,
I just say
we can
triangle.
tell by
I
the
meant
way
rectangle.
that it looks.
It's like there's 4 vertices, so it definitely isn't a triangle.
rectangle.
Tri means 3.
I meant rectangle.
It is a rectangle.
I meant rectangle.
Jonathan,
How am I this slow?
you said you want to.
You were saying it so slowly
So you could have also, what Abby was saying, you could have found the distance of all the sides. You could have done it that way, and you would have seen it as well. That would have been another method that you could have used. So, anyways, any questions about that? Highlighted the year right there.
Four sides.
Okay, at least I
Has
get
4
it.
sides. It's a triangle.
Some courage.
Oh my gosh, she's an illiterate.
9 through 23 odd and 31 through 41 odd.
I was not confident.
Okay, look, listen. 37, 39, and 41. The instructions say justify your answer. That means you can't just tell me a shape. What that means is if you turn in your homework and all I see is a graph and a word and no math, I take off a point for each of those problems. Some of you tried to pull that with that last set of homework where I said you need to show that these are what they are, and I took points off. I don't care. So I'm telling you right now, it says justify. That does not mean just a graph and an answer, because all that tells me is you know how to read out of the back of the book. Yes.